investor. This is Edwin Epperson with Blue Bay Capital, and I am helping capital investors like yourself make wiser, more informed decisions. In today's presentation, we're going to be talking about where to invest in notes. Investing in notes here, there, and everywhere. As Harold Samuel has famously said, it is all about location, location, location. So in this presentation, we're going to be covering the different types of notes that you can invest in. We're going to be discussing asset location, as far as physical location of where you can invest in those notes. We're going to be covering existing note investing versus new note investing and what the differences are and how that looks. And then last, we're going to be covering Blue Bay Capital's turnkey solution and how it can answer a lot of the problems that you may face as you venture into private lending and investing in notes. So let's get started. So in the note investing world, there are primarily two different types of notes, and the notes are determined by the borrower. OO and NOO are the two types of borrowers that you will come across. All this means is owner-occupied and non-owner-occupied. As you can tell, NOO loans are made to professionals who are seeking to borrow your capital for business use through their business. The difference is whoever is signing for your loan will not live in the property you are collateralizing. NOO, or owner-occupied, also called owner-occ, it's completely opposite. The borrower of a owner-occ loan is someone who plans to, intends to, or even may choose to live in the collateral in the future. So what's the big deal? Why are you making such a big point, you may ask? Well, that is a great question, and let's dive into that. So in the world of lending, you are playing by the same game the banks use, and you're able to play that game underneath the rules that are in place. These rules protect consumers from predatory banking practices. This means the onus is on the bank to determine if the borrower can reasonably afford the loan the bank is making. And if the borrower cannot afford the loan, or it would be unreasonable for the bank to make the loan, then it is in the bank's responsibility and best interest to reject that loan request. This is why I am a huge advocate for investing in notes where the borrower is a non-owner occupied loan and the intent is for business use for investment purposes. Listen, consumer protection only applies to one group of people, homeowners. This is bad for you as a lender. However, lending to non-owner occupied borrowers, these consumer protections do not apply. Therefore, it's great for you as a lender to lend to non-owner occupied borrowers. The government has strict rules and licensing requirements, as well annual and ongoing training, education, and certification requirements for lenders making loans to owner-occupied borrowers. This is bad for you as a lender simply because you're looking for a way to leverage your investment capital. With non-owner-occupied loans, there are very little regulatory laws that govern lending to businesses. This is state-dependent, so consult with a real estate attorney to determine which laws apply to you in your state between non-owner-occupied and owner-occupied loans. Government oversight. When you make a loan to an owner-occupied borrower, you very well open yourself up to being audited by the state or even federal government. This audit would make sure that for all of your owner-occupied loans, the proper disclosures were presented in the right time frame and with the right language. They would make sure that you met all the requirements and licensing set forth by the government to protect the consumer, i.e. your borrower. This is a bad thing for you as a lender, as a private lender, unless you already are a mortgage broker or licensed lender. With non-owner occupied borrowers, this is of no concern. So the next thing that a lot of private lenders, note investors want to find out is asset location. Where should you invest in private notes geographically? You can invest in notes in your backyard, in your city. You can invest in notes anywhere in your state. We live here in the state of Florida, and this is the only state that we do our loans in. You also can invest in loans across the entire United States. At the end of the day, you can be as micro or macro focused as you want. The powerful thing is because of the professional team you have put into place, you can personally be anywhere in the world making loans to well-qualified borrowers. I did it. I was in the U.S. Army as a Green Beret. In 2014, I was deployed to Afghanistan and made my first loan while on the side of a mountain to a fix and flip borrower in Pensacola, Florida. Existing versus new note investing. And this is where we're probably going to spend a lot of time because there is a lot of information in the industry concerning this. What does investing into an existing note, also called note buying, versus creating a new note, also called private lending? Well, note investing is normally reserved for those investors who are purchasing existing notes. And many times, not always, those notes are secured to borrower primary residences. There is a whole industry on note investing, and you can find out more by simply conducting an internet search for how to invest in notes. Private lending, on the other hand, is what I teach and how my capital investors and I invest into notes. We create the note, also called originating. What are the differences, you may ask? Well, let's take a look at note investing or purchasing an existing note. The more obvious fact is that you are investing in someone else's already created the note. You lose the ability to make the rules. Whoever someone else creates the note, when someone else creates the note, you must abide by those rules. In the case the originator made a note at 8% interest only for 5 years, you cannot change the terms of the note once you buy the note and then make the borrower pay 10% amortized over 10 years. Most note originators who sell their notes, which they then would sell on the secondary market, and that's where you come in, you would be called the secondary market investor. They are making these notes or loans to owner-occupied borrowers. Based on previous videos, you should understand that owner-occupied loans come with strict regulation and government oversight. If the originator did not follow all the rules that needed to be followed to be able to create that note, then when you buy the note, you could be liable for a wrongly created note. Also, due to the type of borrower, these notes are typically 5 years or more because, again, it is a primary residence. These loans are typically fully amortized. Just like a bank which makes a loan to a property you live in, the originators of owner-occupied loans have much longer terms of the loan. Thus, a 5-year minimum should be expected. Normally, not all of the time, owner-occupied loans are below 8%, though with inflation and market changes happening, this may not always be the case. Just know that you will have to hunt to find notes where you can earn more than 8% annual on your capital. Now let's take a look at the note creation space. You have a major advantage over a note investor in the fact that you make the rules the borrower is going to play by. While you can originate to owner-occupied, we teach and strongly encourage private lenders to lend to businesses for investment purposes. These borrowers do not live in the collateralized properties, and the purpose of the loan is strictly for short-term, also called bridge loans. This is because the loan is to bridge the time gap between when you make the loan and when they sell the property or refinance into a longer-term loan from a financial institution. Most of the time, these notes are short-term, 24 months or less, and interest only. Because of the short time frame, originators of these notes do not sell them to note investors and will hold the note all the way through to payoff or reconveyance. Typically, because of the purpose of the note or the loan, the rates are higher, normally way better than 8% annual. Also, it is customary to charge points or a percentage of the loan amount. When you originate, you also get to keep those points up front. So how does Blue Bay Capital, our turnkey private lending solution, how can it help you in your pursuit of truly passive investments earning passive income? If you're not sure what type of loans or borrowers you should lend to, we handle all of that for you. If you are unsure of the lending laws and you want a company that follows, adheres, and stays within the laws of originating notes. If you are particular about asset location and you want to look at loans only in the particular city of Florida or only in the state of Florida. If you believe that investing in new notes and being a part of the origination process sounds like the best method to invest in notes, and if you're focused on diversifying your portfolio and participating in many different notes, at a fraction of the total loan amount, then my belief is Blue Bay Capital's turnkey private lending solution will work for you. Really, it boils down to one question. Is turnkey private lending for you? And I believe that it is, if you are seeking truly passive investments with passive income. If you are looking for lower risk yet higher return than safer investments. And if you're looking for investments where you are in control, then I believe that our solution can answer your questions. My name is Edwin Epperson. This is my contact information. Please reach out to us on social media, like and follow our pages. And if you have a question or you've got a scenario you want to run by me, by all means, reach out, ask. We can get on a phone call and discuss. And I hope that Blue Bay Capital can help you step into the private lending space with confidence and with assurity. Thank you so much. God bless. Continue to look for other educational content that I release on a regular basis.